They give us a good game. Oh, do not you dare give me a premature good game. I will make you pay. And let's go. Mycoid Resurrection, come forth, my beautiful Tyrranax Rex. And let's drop the mic, baby. Tyrranax Rex, 27-27. You left yourself wide open, baby. Never, ever give Man of Man a premature good game. Absolutely epic. Tyrranax Rex for the win. Ladies and gentle mages, civilians across the multiverse, welcome back to another episode with Man of Man, and today we've got a juice up for you. Before we dig into the deck, make sure to leave a like. The button looks just like this and it helps out the channel tremendously. I greatly appreciate it. Let's go ahead and dive right in. We got the Rex Resurrection, of course, like this, and ironically, this is going to be a dinosaur-like art. The Mycoid Resurrection, Fathomless Descent. Each creature card in your graveyard perpetually gets +X+X, where X is the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. Then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Now, why kind of makes this better than the Squirming Emergence? Well, sometimes you want the Squirming Emergence, but what you really like is the Tyrranax Rex. That is right. And again, being that it is an art, or dino art, is a little bit ironic there. The Tyrranax Rex comes in with Trample and Haste and Ward 4. So whenever you bring this thing out, usually we have like kind of like self-mill deck here. It's usually so big, it comes out as like a 30-30. Trample, Haste, Ward 4. What are you going to do? You're not going to do anything. This thing is going to hit you for a one-hit KO with the Resurrection. The Squirming Emergence cannot do that. I mean, it can, obviously the Squirming Emergence a lot of times is better, but this kind of little transaction with the Tyrranax Rex and hitting them for a one-hit KO out of absolutely nowhere, like an RKO, it is absolutely nuts. So I really, really like this. Of course, the Squirming Emergence, I think you could argue to kind of kick it up to 3, but I don't really know. Because, like, I feel like, let's just kind of get into it a little bit more. So the Propagator Primordium is really, really nice. Sometimes this deck kind of just acts as like an aggro-y type of deck. It's not really like hell-bent on the reanimation stuff. It's more of like a plan B, honestly. So we have this is a 3-3. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you're going to conjure 2 cards of itself into the graveyard. And then basically at the beginning of your upkeep, you put a spore counter. And after you have 3, you can remove it and put another one onto the battlefield from your graveyard. So you continuously just get these fungi not tokens, but you get the fungi and they just keep going wider and wider and wider. And that puts a lot of pressure on your opponent. Why do I not have, I don't say I don't, because I have the Mycotyrant as well, because we are running fungus stuff, of course, but why do I not really have the 3-drop? Well, this is like a 3-drop, but you kind of want to use it later, but we don't have a 1-drop. Restless Vinestalks and the Restless Cottage, just because we do have the Blossoming Tortoise. So later in the deck, your 1-drop and 3-drops are a little bit awkward because you have these things that kind of have to come in tapped, unfortunately, but that's why we also make up for it with the Blossoming Tortoise. Got the Terror Tide because this card obviously just sweeps the board. So does the Specter of Mortality, but this card gets rid of cards in your graveyard and creature cards. So I don't really like running a whole lot of these. One is fine. One is good. And last but not least, let's go ahead and just address the Chitinous Crawler. This is another Alchemy card. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose a target creature card in your graveyard, conjure a duplicate into your graveyard. That's kind of whatever. But what's really nice is that to send 8, exile a permanent card from your graveyard. You may play it. Activate only as a sorcery and only if there are 8 or more permanent cards in your graveyard. So you just get to exile a permanent card and you can just play it. It's that easy. I love this thing. I might actually kick this thing up to 2, but as you know, wild cards do not grow on trees, so I'm not sure if I want to invest into that yet. Let's go ahead and test it out. This is the deck. Basically, we just have like the Sultai self-mill type of stuff here with the Mycoid Resurrection into a Tyrranax Rex for one-hit KOs. Go ahead and join the channel. It would help me out as a content creator. I greatly appreciate it. Get ready to subscribe if you have not already. And without further ado, let's get ready to vanquish some enemies. Orcaman, how you doing here? Looking good. I'm liking this. The Bitter Triumph is actually like one of the best possible things you can have. I think this may be my first brew in either Standard or Alchemy where I'm running the Bitter Triumph. Don't have any green cards, but that's okay. Yeah, but like the Bitter Triumph, especially when you're trying to like reanimate and fill the graveyard, it's really, really good. I don't know why I haven't been turned on to this card earlier, but I'm really liking it. So, okay, going against, I would assume, Esper. Yeah, well, I guess we don't really have to assume. It's most likely Esper Control. Or it could be like the 5-color Atraxa stuff. Sometimes you do see that in Alchemy, but it's more than likely going to be some Esper. So let's go for the Picklock Prankster. And I guess we probably could have waited here, but I kind of want to see. They do run counters, and I did kind of want to get my Picklock Prankster to resolve. Alright, so Counter of Ornthok. I can never say that thing, but I don't know. It's the Orb card. This card, honestly, in terms of like design wise, I think it's like one of the best design cards of all time. It just like yeah, I mean, just if you're not familiar with how it works, well, let's go for Founding of the Third Path. It's nothing a whole lot doing here, so I think we're just gonna go ahead and drop. Let's actually mill ourselves out. I don't really want to drop the creature. I know getting the creature on board might seem a little bit better versus control. I'm sure they've got something to do with kind of to remove it, but going back to the orb card, yeah, I got the Portal to Phyrexia. I really want to see, especially with my Resurrection card, I really want to see the Rex itself in there, so we can kind of hit that one turn kill. But the Portal to Phyrexia is not too bad either. So Palanthorpe Ornthok, again, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but every single turn, you're going to have another counter, and you're going to be... Okay, so I don't even know how to exactly explain it. Pretty much you get to scry 2 every single turn, and then you get to, like, mill 1 more card each turn. So eventually, you have to stop taking life. But for, like, the first, like, 3 turns, I always take the life. But Founding of the Third Path, let's go in for a Squirming Emergence. I'm going to go ahead and just get the pull out the Phyrexia. It is nice. We'll get rid of the Oracle of the Alpha. For some strange reason, I am kind of assuming that this is not going to stay around. Esper Control has a lot of different ways to kind of get around this. And they are also running green, so I'm not really sure what the green is there for. So I actually don't know what we're playing against. Because it seems to be like Esper Control, but if they're having green, I don't really know. So, I mean, this Portal to Phyrexia can just survive. I think we're just going to... See, okay, Haywire Mite. Oh my gosh, this little cutie. This little cutie, it's not a spider. I always think it's a spider. It's actually not. It's a mite, so... I'm gonna get rid of the Portal to Phyrexia. But like I said, there's I think it's called the Legion of something. The 3-drop sorcery. It's Orzhov, and it's like exile target permanent. It's a sorcery. That card is so good in Alchemy because there's a lot of One Ring that's indestructible, etc., etc. So, all right. So now that they're like I said, they're gonna scry 2. I'm still gonna lose the life. Now they mill 3 cards instead of 2. And now we're seeing. Now I'm gonna have to start being like a little more sweaty about it. I am probably going to like. You know, probably going to have them draw a card, unfortunately, next turn. So, for this turn, Founding of the Third Path's not that great. What we can do is we could go for the Crawler. Or I might just go for Founding of the Third Path and then just drop the Cruel Somnophage. I think that might be what we do, barring a counter spell, of course. So they only have 3 more cards in their hand, but like I said, with their little artifact here, I think they're going to be able to eventually amass a lot more card advantage to us. So I think we're at this point now. Let's go ahead and probably just throw down a threat. It's our first threat of the day. Like I said, Make Disappear is not legal, because that is New Capenna. It's not legal in Alchemy, but they do have other sorts of counters as well. There are other counters that people run in here. So, I mean, we have a 6/6. We have something to at least threaten them. Sheldon's Edict, that's fine. They only have 2 more cards in their hand. So, like, I mean, we actually are winning the war of, like, value. But we do have 10 life. So, eventually, yeah, like I said, in this turn, I'm probably going to have to just, like, let them draw a card. Other than that Haywire Mite, I'm not really sure why they're running green. But, yeah, like I said, they're going to scry 2. You always scry 2, but each turn, you mill another card. So, 1 on top, 1 bottom. We're going to have to let them draw that card, unfortunately. We are not... I mean, that could just be lethal if we don't take it. So, unfortunately, Terratai has just declined that. There's no reason to exile that. We'll just go ahead and keep that in there. So, now here's the cool thing. We can... I mean, the Specter of Mortality is not that good. We can go for the Crawler. And the Crawler is just a permanent card. So, look at this. We drop the Crawler. This is a really, really cool card. As long as we have 8 cards, 8 or more permanents, descend to 8, we can actually exile a permanent card, and then we can just play it. So... I'm gonna do this, and now we can just play a land, and that is actually a really, like I said, really, really nifty trick. We can do it again and go for Founding of the Third Path. I'm gonna go for the Picklock Prankster. Maybe I should just go for like Founding of the Third Path. Now we do get to do a duplicate. So this little crawler, this creepy crawler is, I like this thing. It's a really neat card. We're only just gonna be like, this one's a little less impactful. You're just like getting a duplicate of a card to your graveyard. I mean, it is pretty cool. I mean. It is something. Yeah, this crawler is really cool, though. Like I said, I went ahead and went with the Picklock Prankster, just because I'm assuming whatever we put out is going to get removed. I mean, maybe that is a little bit... Maybe it's not the best philosophy. Maybe we should just kind of go for some more mill. Because we actually don't have a Tyrranax Rex in my graveyard. So, yeah, Sunfall, here we go. So, now we got the Sunfall. I still don't think we're in that big of trouble. We still have a bitter try. Oh, a Time Walk! Ooh-wee. Okay, a Time Walk. We're putting in a big trouble here now. Okay, that takes a big swing of things here. Definitely gonna have at this point. We're just letting them draw. Sure, gonna be lethal if we let them mill and do damage that way. So Let's take a look at what we got in our graveyard here. We have the Mycotyrant, we have the Blossoming Tortoise. We do have quite a bit in here. Yeah. Sunken Citadel, and they go for Rusko. Okay. This is going to be hard. I mean, obviously they have the Power 9 in their deck from the Oracle of the Alpha, so it's going to be a tough deck to overcome. I think the only way we realistically win is probably just going in for the Resurrection with the Rex. Down to 8 we go. They got this Ornthonk. Orthonk? I don't know. Specter of Mortality can actually take care of this board right now, so that's actually pretty nice. I'm going to, yep, let's draw the card. Midnight Clock goes off. We have the Bitter Triumph. Here's a Restless Cottage. I think it is probably just better to go for the Restless Cottage. And let's just go for the Specter of Mortality. Just kind of clear the board here. Yeah, let's see. What do we want to get rid of? I think we'll get rid of the Cruel Somnophage and the Mycotyrant. We have to make it 3, just to kind of wipe the board. And it's all other creatures. You don't have to hit the Specter, so that's always nice. Okay. 3 cards in hand. Eventually, they will be able to go for the Midnight Clock. The Midnight Clock is so freaking good, though, because with the Midnight Clock, they draw 7, and it's just like, with the Power 9 in their deck as well, it's like, oh my god, they get a Time Walk, it gets crazy. So, they're going for a Midnight Clock and going up for the counters, which is a little weird. I mean, they don't have to do this at sorcery speed, so I'm not really sure why they're doing this. Yeah, unless there's a reason I'm missing, I mean, they can do this on my turn, so they're kind of like tapping themselves out for no reason effectively here, which kind of is nice. Because I don't really have to worry about like any instant removal spells or anything like that. So I guess we'll go ahead and let them draw a card. And sure. Virtue of Persistence. I guess I might as well just slam. We could either slam down the Virtue of Persistence, or we could just kind of start swinging with the Restless Cottage. But I think overall the Virtue of Persistence is probably going to be better. I think it's an everlasting threat that's like nice and annoying. Let's just drop the Virtue of Persistence, sure. I want to make sure there's no creature lands here. I don't see any creature lands, so I don't really think I'm leaving myself wide open. I actually only have 8 life, and eventually this Midnight Clock is going to be able to just kind of give them a new hand anyway. Haywire Might, gosh darn it. So this little Might has been the bane of my existence. It's gotten rid of Portal to Phyrexia, and it's gotten rid of a Virtue of Persistence, which is very unfortunate, but that's okay. We're still hanging by a thread. We don't give up around here. We don't give up around here. Midnight Clock, and again, they're really keen on doing the Midnight Clock shenanigans on their own turn. I don't know if they're aware that they can do that. They don't have to activate that as a sorcery, so I'm not really sure why they're doing that. Alright, Mr. Orb is coming out to play, and of course we're letting them draw. At this point, it's just scry 2 and then draw a card, because I'm not taking lethal. Alright, so that Midnight Clock is going to go off next turn, and I'm just trying to think of what I want to do here. We have the Restless Cottage. At this point, I mean, I don't want to go for the Resurrection. I really don't. There's really nothing to grab. I mean, we could get like a big Blossoming Tortoise, but I mean, that's just not going to cut it. I don't really want to do that. I guess we are on a clock though, so like, I mean, I don't know. Let's just go for the Restless Cottage, and then I can actually either hold up. Let's go. First things first. Let's go for the Restless Cottage and get rid of this Time Walk. Time Walk. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Just because I know the Midnight Clock is going to put their graveyard, and then they shuffle their. Yeah, no. We'll get rid of the Time Walk. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Hold up the Bitter Triumph, or we can just gain life with the food token. But this is looking a little messy. Shelly. Okay, well, we can go for Bitter Triumph. That's actually not that bad. I'm actually okay with paying the life as well, just because obviously they're not really a thready deck anyway. Here comes the Midnight Clock, and I'm just gonna go for the Bitter Triumph. Let's do this. We gotta go for Bitter Triumph before they draw these 7 cards, just so that Shelly can't gain them 14 life. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of you. We're down to 5, but again, they don't have creature lands, and that's okay. And now they're drawing 7 cards, but now at least the Midnight Clock is gone. But dang, that's rough. That is definitely rough. This is going to be hard to win. Union of the Third Pass, so they're going to gain a bunch of life up to 24, and now I'm really starting to sweat. I mean, we're going to need a miracle here. I'm trying to think. We just need some more mill action so that we can go for the Resurrection. How can we realistically win? I think we're just kind of hoping that we get some more Virtue of Persistence. Okay. As long as they can't go for their own Virtue of Persistence, it's not the end of the world. Woo, it's getting hot in here, though. Alright, so, yep, draw a card. And what are we going to top deck here? A Squirming Emergence. Okay. Not too bad. I mean, what can I grab with the Squirming Emergence? I can grab my own Virtue of Persistence. I mean, the world's our oyster. It's basically just whatever we want to take. But I think we're obviously going to do this. And, I mean, if I go for Founding of the Third Path, we could go for Blossoming Tortoise as well. I think that, I mean, that mills like the same amount. One less, maybe. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we have 2 Tyrranax Rex, and we're going to go grab a Vinestalk. And now we can actually go for the Restless Cottage. I think this is fine. We don't get to hold up like Bitter Triumph this way, but we at least get to do damage and put another food token up here. Deal 5. But more importantly though, we do have the Resurrection with the Tyrranax Rex into the graveyard. Now the only problem is, and they also see that. They also see our Resurrection. But I'm just worried. The One Ring, okay, that really sucks. Okay, so, oh my gosh. Even if they tap out, they still have protection from everything, so he can't do the one-hit kill. Oh. Okay. Virtue of Persistence is a problem. Virtue of Persistence is a huge problem, because now we can't resurrect our dino, because everything in our graveyard is going to perpetually get +X, which is 14 at the moment with the Resurrection. So I actually can't even do that, even if I wanted to right now. Yeah. Ooh, and they just draw more cards. Oh, gosh, okay. Yeah, because I cannot go for the Mycoid Resurrection. I just can't, because it's, again, it's all, each creature card. So they have their own Virtue of Persistence. I can't do that, unfortunately. Especially with double Rex, I mean, that would just be lethal for us, so I can't do this. So what becomes the play here? Let's give him a thinking. Do I want to swing in with the Restless Cottage just to kind of like, well, let's swing in with the Restless Tortoise, just kind of get some more mill action. We'll get another Vinestalk on the battlefield. Eventually these creature lands will become problematic. I mean, I don't really want to go for the Restless Cottage just to make a food token. We already have 2, so it's pretty good. I think we're just gonna go with our little fungus buddy. And then just kind of hold up these food tokens. Maybe eat the food token, hold up the Bitter Triumph. Yeah, whatever they have with the Virtue of Persistence, they're going to snag our Tyrranax Rex, I'm assuming. Because they actually don't have a graveyard, because they have, like, the Shelly or whatever. So, yeah, okay. I think we're up for the challenge here. Let's go for the Primordium, just kind of get this on the battlefield. And I know that, we actually get more things into the graveyard this way. So now we're up to 17. So if we were to get our own Rex, 17 plus 8 is 25. That actually would be lethal. I'm just worried. I'm worried about a lot of things, but I'm especially worried about our own Rex. Our own Rex is being used against us. That is pretty rude, Orcaman. But, you know, I gotta respect the hustle. Let's see if they can tap. Like, I just... Oh, man. The One Ring. Okay, so draw. Got a big, juicy hand there. Our only hope... If they tap out, they have to be careful here. They might be a little bit too high and mighty on their own riches. And they might just slip up. So they got the Tyrranax Rex. I can eat the food. Go for the throat. Okay. Obviously, I could just go for the Triumph and just pay the Ward 4. I could do that, but I want to keep the Portent. Okay, so the Exile, gain 1 life. That's not the end of the world. Okay. Yeah, I think if we're gonna make a if we're gonna go for the Restless Cottage here, I kind of want the Restless Cottage in the graveyard to chump block, because if I chump block with one of these creature lands, let me do the math here, make sure that I can go for the Portent, and I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can still go for a food token. Plus, I don't want the Oracle of the Alpha is not the end of the world. If I can eat a food token, Oracle, okay, so this is good. They are tapping out. Hold on, we're at least getting close to it. And I think you might be drunk on your own power, Orcaman. You got to be careful here, my friend. So let's go ahead and sacrifice this food. We'll go up to 8 life. Yep. They give us a good game. Oh, do not you dare. Do not you dare give me a premature good game. I will make you pay. And I don't know if we're going to be able to get it just yet. But if I go for a Restless Cottage, I know I'm playing a little bit slow, and I do apologize. I just really do not want to make a crucial mistake here. Let's go for the Restless Cottage. Let's go for the Restless Cottage here, get a chump block, and then we only take 4. I don't really care about the poison counters. That's kind of irrelevant. Let's do this, and then that puts us down to 4. We can use the Bitter Triumph, go down to 1, and I think we have it. I think they have it. They gave us a good game, and I know for a fact that was not a good game on their end. They thought that they won this. Let's let them draw a card. I think we have a clear reigns. I think we have the clear reigns, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Bitter Triumph. We can clear the path on the Oracle of the Alpha. Let me make sure I still have a Tyrranax Rex in here, and I think we got it. I cannot believe this. They got drunk on their own power. Let's go for the Bitter Triumph. Bitter Triumph. We can just pay the 3, get rid of the Oracle of the Alpha to kind of clear the path here, but I don't think they have anything to hold up priority. I think they only have 1 white source here, nothing hidden. They do not have the 1 ring protection. Let's go for the Bitter Triumph. Kill the Oracle of the Alpha. Let's get rid of the Blossoming Tortoise just to fill up the graveyard with more permanents. And let's go. Mycoid Resurrection. Come forth, my beautiful Tyrranax Rex. And because we resurrect with the card, we have a 27-27. Let's give them a good game. Let's even do it. Let's drop the mic, baby. Tyrranax Rex, 27-27. You left yourself wide open, baby. Never, ever give Man a premature good game. That's right. Don't you even dare. Yeah, go ahead and take your Oracle of the Alpha. And they give us a nice, you know what? I'll spare you a little bit of the rant, but we still get the win. Absolutely epic. Tyrranax Rex for the win. Saib92, how you doing here? All right, let's see what we're going against. Ooh, mono red on the draw. Might be a problem if we were not going for the Bitter Triumph. We got 2 forms of removal, so hopefully we can kind of make use of that. Right, Restless Vinestalk with the Darkslick Shores. Nice little 1-2 combo. But you know what else is a nice 1-2 combo? A Phoenix Chick and a Rally to Hamburg. That's not really good, but let's go ahead and drop our little fungus friend here. A 3/3/2 drop is like pretty good in and of itself, but you get a little bit more upside. If you do get to survive 3 turns, you get some more fungus friends, and that is absolutely wonderful. And it does fill up your graveyard, which is wonderful as well. But yeah, I'm just just gonna block. If you've got the Monstrous Rage, that's completely fine. Well, I'm glad to trade. That 3 toughness will eat up a lot of this damage here, except for 1 over the trample. That's not that big of a deal. So down to 13, and I gotta be honest here. I think we're looking kind of okay, but I don't want to be too coy about it. Let's go with this. Go for green, and I guess we'll go for Founding of the Third Path. Of course, Founding of the Third Path, letting us cast an instant or sorcery for literally free. Now, we do have an additional cost, unfortunately, but that's okay. Discard the card. I'm going to discard my Tyrranax Rex. Almost 99% of the time, I would rather have my Tyrranax Rex into the graveyard anyway, just so that we can resurrect it later. And I'm actually not going to get rid of the Phoenix Chick, because I feel like if they have another Rally to Hamburg or whatever the heck that card's called, they can just kind of bring it back. So we'll just let them keep the Chick. So down to 1, and this Fiery Inscription, man, I played with this Fiery Inscription card. It is absolutely insane. It's a good card. Every single time they cast an instant or sorcery, they just burn you for 2. It's that simple, and it is very, very difficult to play around. But I'm going to go for the Bitter Triumph, and let's go ahead. I'm just going to do this now. Well, should we? I guess we could probably wait, just in case they go for, like, Monstrous Rage. Yeah, let's not be too hasty. The red deck is the haste deck. Let's be a little bit more relaxed here. So Melt Through. Ooh, Fiery Inscription. This is exactly why this is so brutal. So it basically just turns a shock into a double shock, really. But we have the Crawler. The Crawler's available. Definitely gotta go for the Bitter Triumph now. Every single point of life is going to matter here. So let's go ahead and get rid of the Swamp, and then we have the other Bitter Triumph here. But like I said, only 1 more card in your hand, which is pretty nice. But Founding of the Third Path, let's do this, baby. Founding of the Third Path, let's go for the Squirming Emergence. And, yep, just cast it. And this is not hard. It doesn't have to be hard. Magic does not have to be hard. We could go for this Crawler, which is actually, I like this Crawler a lot. But guess what I love even more than the Crawler? The Tyrranax Rex, baby. Absolutely love this thing with the Ward 4. And it's so big. Oh, God, I'm going to swing in. I actually am, because if they leave themselves wide open, they're a red deck. Swift Spear. I don't think they can do 8. I don't think they can do 8 damage. Firebrand. No, they can't. We are good. 2. That is going to leave us with 2. They've got draw a card, but then they just discard a card. So they are absolutely tapped out, and we're looking good here. We're looking good here. The Restless Cottage is going to be able to take them away. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. That's just a Crystal Grotto or whatever the heck, Grotto or whatever the heck it's called. But yeah, if we just go for the Restless Cottage, that is going to be 12 damage. Just want to make double sure that I'm not missing anything. I am not. That's 8 plus 4. I can do basic math. Hey, who says math is for blockers? Let's go ahead and give them the universal good game. Get rid of the Phoenix Chick just because. Just to add a little insult to injury. Tyrranax Rex doing work. Nico, how you doing here? Okay, looking pretty good here. Really good, especially with the land fixing here. You have the Restless Vinestalk, which of course comes in tapped, and then you go for that turn 2 Darkslick Shores, and all of your worries are gone away. You don't have to worry about any pain lands, especially when you're playing against mono red. Let's go ahead and drop this Fungus Friend. Fill up our graveyard here, and I'm really liking this. I mean, this card is so universal. You can play it in this kind of deck, and I'm already thinking of like some sort of like just kind of like mono green, maybe even like a Golgari rock type deck with this fungus thing, but I can tell me and this fungus are going to be friends. Oh yeah, and even like a fungus deck, because obviously I have Mycotyrant. If we want to go all in on the fungus stuff, I can already think of that, but you know my philosophy versus mono red. A lightning strike to your creature is a lightning strike that didn't hit your face. So I like that. Let's go for the Founding of the Third Path. And I think we're just going to kind of... I think we're just going to go ahead and just go for the mill. Just because I want to drop the Blossoming Tortoise next turn. So that's kind of nice. Down to 18. That's actually not that scary at all. Again, when we drop those creatures, if they don't have a lightning strike, they really have to squirm a little bit, which is kind of nice. But... down to 14, which actually is not the end of the world. I can go ahead and just go for this Squirming Emergence, but I'm actually not going to, because there's nothing I can really grab with it. The Virtual Persistence, we don't have enough permanence, so nah, I'm going to decline that. And then I think we're just going to go for the Blossoming Tortoise instead. Yeah, let's just drop you. Let's see what we get into the graveyard. Oh, so there we go. That's actually really good. We have a Terratide, and the Terratide can actually just wipe the board. I'm assuming this Blossoming Tortoise is not going to live anyway. So, okay. Looking good here. And with the ramp from the Tortoise, let's go ahead and just do our blocks, because the Blossoming Tortoise is probably going to get swiped anyway. Let's actually kill you, just so that they don't get the little rat to replace itself. Blazing Crescendo. Okay, that's actually not that big. Blazing Crescendo does not give it trample, so that's actually fine. They get the 1/1, so now they're not going to be able to give this when we wipe the board. Play one more creature. Come on, play one more. Yes, yes, they go wide as possible, which is absolutely delicious for us. Because I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. Let's drop this, and now we've got a grand total of 6 lands. Founding of the Third Path, and I'm just going to go straight to number 3. I'm going straight to number 3, baby. Yep. We are not going to do any of that nonsense here. Let's go for the Terratide, and I love this Terratide. Ba-boom. We do have to take 1 point of damage for the Pain Land, but we get rid of 6 creatures there. I think that was 6. Yeah, I think so anyway. But either way, it goes away. And now they only have 1 more card in their hand. Hopefully it's not a Monstrous Rage. Hopefully not a Monstrous Rage. Okay, a Shock, I guess, is a little better than a Monstrous Rage. Monstrous Rage just put more damage on the board here. And at this point, if I go for Restless Cottage and I drop the Coast, I can actually eat the food token. Let's get rid of some I want to also swing in because I want to get rid of these Phoenix Chicks. This game is not over. This could get a little bit more grindy. I think I am going to do that, but I can also drop the Fungus Boy. I don't know. I mean, can they really deal 5 damage and get through this fungus thing before we start eating the food, or should we just eat the food? I think we're probably better off putting this thing out first. Felden. Okay, not that big of a deal. This is actually okay. I think I'm going to block the Spell Spear. Just for now. I think we can kind of wait on the Felden, because I don't really want them to grab stuff. We do get our lovely Crawler, but unfortunately, I don't think the Crawler is going to really be the move here. I think we're probably just still better off going in for a Restless Cottage and just eating some more food. Well, actually, I won't say eating more food, just making another food token. So let's swing in you. Let's keep the fungus back. And where's that? Yeah, these little Phoenix Chicks, in case they get like the Rally to Hornburg, or I'm going to look up how to say that card here in a second, because I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but the card that gives them little 1/1s in haste, they're going to be able to go for the Phoenix Chick again. So getting rid of these Phoenix Chicks is a lot better than just keeping them around. I think I am going to do this. It is a little nerve-wracking, just because obviously giving them cards, but I can't take damage, so like, whatever, do your worst. Monstrous Rage, there's the Rally, and they already swung in, so that Rally card is actually not that great here. So, Rally at the Hornburg. Rally at the Hornburg. Okay, that's what it's called. Okay, and they have a land, thank goodness, and now I'm really thinking that we good. Okay, so we've got the Resurrection. I would love to have a Rex. In our, yeah, but they don't even let us go for the resurrection. Carfire, how you doing here? Okay, that looks like a pretty good hand here. I think we can kind of roll with this. All right, let's go for the Restless Cottage, and got only black cards in our hand, but that's okay. We'll make do. Hopefully, we do play a little bit more creature-centric deck. Sometimes you do play into that, those Esper control things, and it gets really nasty really quick. But like I said, the other match here, I definitely love the fungus here. I think with the Restless Cottage and the Vinestalks, whenever I run those kind of like tap-heavy, creature-y type stuff, I always make... here's the Orb card again. I love this card. Very, very well-designed card. No complaints here. I think the One Ring is a little more aggravating, especially if you want to play full-out aggro. That's why full-out aggro is a little harder to play, especially with the One Ring around. But going back to kind of what I have going on with like the Blossoming Tortoise, don't really run a whole lot of one-drops, or any really. Whoa, what is this? What is this? A snooze? Let's say a cheers to you. Why are you giving me a snooze? A snooze? What does that even mean? Are you just so tired of playing? No one's playing this fungus stuff, right? Like, what are you talking about? Sometimes people put the snooze thing when they play like good like meta decks and like they just kind of get blown over really quick like mono red or something, which I guess is whatever. But really, like, really? All right, so let's go for the Propagator Primordium. Let's go for the Bitter Triumph. Just kind of get rid of the Sheldred. Yep, let's get rid of you. I'm gonna pay the life. I think well, I guess we'll get rid of the Terror Tide. I don't know if we are gonna. They give us another snooze. I have no idea what that's all about, but down to 11 they go. We're not playing counter magic, so we obviously don't have any way to protect our board. Rusko the Clockmaker. Oh, I mean, I actually did not leave open a black source to go for double Bitter Triumph, and that is pretty cringy. I know I say it all the time, but I gotta be a little bit better about the auto tapper. We do lose life from that. I'm not going to give them an extra card if I don't have to. So the Orb, and they're giving us some more snoozes. And I guess the snooze kind of worked. I mean, let's make sure that we have a black source left open for this time. Because I wanted to go for Bitter Triumph. And, like, fortunately, it doesn't really matter right now. Just because, like, there's nothing else we could have played instead. We're still going to hold up the same Bitter Triumph. But not having that extra black and going for the Bitter Triumph on time could have been, I don't know why they're giving us the snooze fest. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get swept here, so I want to make sure I ensure the win before I get a little bit cocky. So, because I'm going to get a little cocky here. Let's do something. Because I don't know why they're giving me the snooze fest. Like, we're playing creatures and you can't handle them. Like, this is not even that bad. I don't know why they're giving us that. But another Midnight Clock, and I'm going to let you draw the card at this point. Well, yeah, the 4 is quite a bit. Let's go ahead and let you draw, and I don't think they only have, they just give it up, yeah. We'll clank it up. Snooze fest.